He worked for various non-profit charities, volunteered his time to help the needy, spoke about the idea of peaceful protest. He grew so prolific over the years that he gained backing from various groups whose goals coincided with his own.
Would you say everyone liked him?
I would like to believe that most liked him. But no one is loved by everyone.
Erebus, the foxhounds have engaged her brother near the court house.
The broker sends word. The wolves found Nicholas.
You worthless mutt! I will need to repeat what happened if I'm forced to fulfill this contract myself. enough! Give me your sword. You're not Yuri. If you were, you wouldn't be showing mercy.
Never claimed to be.
Then I'll make you one. So that you can tell the real Yuri I'm coming for him next.
It's good to see you again, Officer Fangmeyer.
And you, Miss Hopps.
I am sorry that I have to call you again for this case, but there are a few things I feel that need to be looked over before anyone will be satisfied that this case is closed one way or the other. According to your report, on the date that Mrs. Arterton was murdered, you received a call at 9:55 p.m. requesting officers at the Arterton home, if that's correct?
That's correct, yes.
And did you respond immediately?
Yes. Well, not immediately.
Oh? Why is that, officer?
My partner, Officer Weaselton, was using the gas station restroom at the time. He took a while, though when he came out, he said he was delayed by other factors. By the time he got back, it was 9:58 p.m.
This was not in your report.
Well, we don't put minute-by-minute details on how we arrived at the scene of a crime generally. The report starts when we receive the call that includes everything that happened when we came there.
I understand, of course. The response time in this case was already impressive regardless. That is, in part, because you were right around the corner from the Arterton home. Is that correct?
Yes, we arrived at the scene at 10:02 p.m.
Geographically, you were less than half a mile from the scene,
I guess.
but it still took you 5 minutes to reach the scene from the gas station?
It was a block down, another block over, and in a subdivision. In populated areas or residential communities, we keep to the speed limit unless we're on an emergency call. At the time, we were not aware that it was an emergency, and the speed limit in the subdivision was 15 miles per hour.
So, accounting for traffic, that makes the time about right driving. Thank you for clearing that up. How fast can you run, officer? How fast can you run a mile, for example?
Objection. I don't see what relevance that would have in this case.
I don't see how it could hurt your case. I am trying to obtain and provide a clear image of the scene in a case that has been devoid of details until now. If Officer Fangmeyer doesn't want to answer the question, I will accept that, however.
Overruled, but with the understanding that you are under no obligation to answer the question, officer.
I don't see why not. My personal best was 2 minutes 45 seconds, but my average is closer to 3.5.
That's a good time. My record back in high school was something like 5 minutes, but I always had my nose in the books. Are there faster officers in the ZPD?
Of course, I'm somewhere in the middle. The current class speed demon is Clawhauser, but you know, he's a cheetah.
I met him outside. Slim build like that, I expect he puts all of you to shame. How about your partner?
He's surprisingly fast for a smaller species. I mean, I'm faster at a base running speed, but on an obstacle course, he's in the top 10%.
So, if you and your partner had decided to jump out of the cruiser and run to the Arton house straight across, not following the roads, how long do you think it would have taken?
Objection. Unless she is trying to imply that the ZPD are at fault for their response time, which everyone agrees was very prompt, this line of questioning clearly has nothing to do with the Otterton case.
Is there a point to these questions, Miss Hopps?
There is, Your Honor, and I will get to it. This is the last question of this sort, so I beg your indulgence.
It is the last seemingly irrelevant question you are allowed, Miss Hopps. Overruled, following the same condition as before. That Officer Fangmeyer is not required to answer it.
Having chased suspects through the bushes and other mammals' backyards before, I would guess I could do it in 5 minutes. Weaselton is probably faster. Like I said, he's better than most on the obstacle courses.
Thank you. Moving on, as promised, you arrived at the Arton residence at 10:02 p.m. Can you go over what happened from there?
The scene was quiet when we arrived. It wasn't until we reached the door of the Otterton home that it became obvious that something was wrong. The door was open, and the smell of blood was coming from inside. At the time, we decided that entering was justified.
Who went in first?
Weaselton offered to go in first.
Was this normal?
Not usually. It was generally his belief that suspects would be more intimidated by a smaller one when we entered the scene. This time, though, the house was made for smaller mammals, and I would have been at a disadvantage, so he went in first. From the beginning, the smell of blood was overpowering, and I knew immediately that we were not walking into a simple domestic squabble that ended in a few cuts and bruises. I was about to warn Weaselton, but he had already rushed ahead and into the house.
Rushed ahead without his big, intimidating partner to back him up.
Yeah.
All right. According to crime scene reports, none of the neighbors claim to have heard anything.
Yes, that is correct.
So, an argument that was so loud and violent that it led to the brutal stabbing of the victim was not heard by anyone?
From what I understand, yes. I didn't take part in the questioning of witnesses or the follow-up investigation. We were too busy giving statements to the detectives that arrived from homicide.
Aside from the fact that you didn't question them, do you find it strange that no one heard anything? While the anonymous caller claims that things had become loud and obviously violent, isn't that strange?
Objection, Your Honor. Leading the witness.
I will reword the question.
Carry on.
Officer Fangmeyer, in most cases of loud and possibly violent domestic altercations, are the neighbors normally unaware of it?
Generally, no. In most cases, if it gets that bad, it's a neighbor that calls the ZPD to investigate and calm the situation. Except in some neighborhoods, where talking to the police is frowned upon.
Did the Artons live in that kind of neighborhood?
No, they did not.
Do you trust your partner, Officer Fangmeyer? Officer, should I repeat the question?
No. Officer Weaselton and I have been partners for a short time. I like to think I trust him, but that kind of trust builds over time.
Thank you, officer. You've been a very pleasant witness. I have no further questions.